Hi guys, and welcome to DIY Crafts. So this week we are going to be continuing on our holiday theme, and we are going to be making some ornaments and a gift. So they're both super easy, super simple to make. They'll take you all of 2 seconds, one maybe a little bit more than 2 seconds. And they are cost effective and fun. So first things first, if you are a homesteader or if you like to use mason jars, I bet you a lot of you have these at home and of various sizes. And what happens is when you use them a lot, or if you use them for canning like I do, they get really, really, really gross on the inside. A lot of times they rust. And what happens is you don't want to use them because the presentation for your canning cabinets or your gift giving is just not there anymore. So instead of throwing these away or recycling them, there's a really cool craft you can do with these. So you're going to take this and you're going to turn it into this. All right, so you get this really ugly tin thing going on here. It's super rusted. It's really gross. And you can turn it into this beautiful wreath ornament here with some bedazzling and a button and all that other jazz. So I'm going to show you guys how to make this. So you're going to need a mason jar ring. I don't really know what these are called. It's the lid ring. Preferably ones that are not brand new, ones that are quite yucky, that you don't want to use anymore, and you're not really quite ready to throw them away because you're a hoarder. Or you like to turn things, trash, into treasures. There you go. So this is another version that I made. It's another version right here. So if you have been following along this whole time we've been doing this virtual DIY craft, then you know that a while back we made DIY dream catchers. So along the same lines of the dream catcher, you're going to take yarn. What I do, and I find this to be really simple, is I take a glue gun and I just put a little dab on the inside right here. And it's just to get me started. So then all I do is I take my string, I put my string in that hot glue bubble right there, and then I can go ahead and start wrapping this. And all you're going to do is keeping it nice and tight. You're going to wrap it around and around and around. Here we go. And you're just going to keep wrapping it, and you're going to make it really, really tight so that you can't see the metal anymore. And as you go around, it starts to take its shape, which is really cool. So the tighter you keep it, the you're not going to see any of that metal. So when you give this as a gift or a present or whatever, or you put it on your own tree or window or whatever, maybe you want to hang it from your car mirror, go for it. Wherever you decide to put it, you're not even going to know that it was originally from a mason jar. So I'm not going to torture you guys with watching me wrap this over and over and over again. I just want to show you guys what I'm doing and how to get it started. So pretty easy here. Again, put a piece of glue on the inside and start wrapping it. And then you can see, you can't even really see the jar lid. And if you do see it, just squish this together, make it a little tighter, squish it, squish it, squish it, just like this. And when you get to the end and you have something like this, all you're going to do is you're going to take that top piece, the very last little bit, and you're going to tie it in a knot at the top. No glue necessary, just tie it in a knot. And then you have your hanging part, and now you're ready to bedazzle. So this right here is this tin. I literally took this tin, turned it into this. This is black yarn. You can use yarn, you can use embroidery thread, you can use, goodness gracious, jute rope or twine. This works really well. Basically any string that you want. Just keep in mind that if you do the twine, you have to keep it a lot closer together, and at times you actually have to overlap because you don't want to see that metal in here. So this is just the jute twine. Get that out of the way. And then you're left with this. So now you have the option, do you want your ornament to have this as the forward part or the back of the jar as the forward part? That is totally up to you. I kind of like the way it looks like this, but you can do it either way, and I've done it both ways. So now you're going to bedazzle. So a really, really simple way to create a ribbon bow, which I have struggled with forever until I finally figured out how to do it, is to take your ribbon of choice. Let's go for green. Why not? So I'm going to take quite a lot of green, maybe like almost my arm's worth. I'm going to cut it. There we go. I'm going to take one end, 2 fingers, one end. I'm going to hold one end, let's see, over my finger like this, so it's hanging. And then all I'm going to do is spread my fingers, and I'm going to go over, under, over, under, over, under. Squish that kind of in there. You can kind of spread them out depending on how large you want your bow to be. Over, under, over, under. And this is going to give me quite a lot of loops. You just want to make sure that you count both sides here. So you want to make sure you have even loops on both sides before you go ahead and tie a knot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then as you keep your fingers spread here, you're going to take your excess right here, and you're going to go ahead and go through. Actually, let me do one more. Sorry, guys. Hold on. I'll give you a little bit more slack here. So you want this slack, so you want this to be your tail. So again, I'm going to go over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over, and under. And then I'm going to push this back here. Push this forward. Ah! All right, I make this a lot easier than it looks when I'm not under pressure. All right, let me try this one more time. All right, so there we go. We have this. So I'm going to take this extra here, and I'm going to loop it through my fingers. I assure you it is worth the wait here. All right, there it is. And then I'm going to loop it under the loop I just made. And I'm going to pull it really, really tight. And that's just going to join all of those together. Go ahead and pull it super tight so it stays. Pull it off your fingers. That's why you keep your fingers spread so you don't have to make it too tight. And then there you go, look at that. I got my little loops for my bow. I got my little tail. But then I noticed that this tail is much longer than this tail. So what you need to do, take your 2 tails, put them together like so. And grab your scissors and go ahead and cut. So I'm going to cut them both at the same length at first. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut this one on an angle. Oops. And then go ahead and cut this one on an angle, even though it's kind of already on an angle. And then there we go. So then you can go ahead and kind of proof this up a little. Spread out all your little bow ties, if you will. Let's see. Here we go. Here we go. This is also really cool if you want to make your own ribbon, present ribbon wraps, whatever you want to call them. And there it is. Super cute little bow. Lots of loops. Cute little tails. And this is what's going to go on the top of my wreath that I made. But before I attach my ribbon, I'm going to grab some more ribbon. I'm going to go with the same color, just keep things consistent. And I'm going to go ahead and grab quite a little bit more. I'm totally guessing here how much I need, but I'm going to do that. I'm going to put a little bit of glue from the hot glue gun on the inside once again, so nobody can see it. This is where you kind of want to pay attention to what side you want facing forward, because you don't want your glue to show when you're hanging it on your tree or in your car or wherever it decides you want to put it. So I think that my front is going to be this part. So I'm going to put a little glue on the very back side here so you can't see it. Just on the inside right here. Just a very, very small amount. And I'm going to go ahead and squish my ribbon in right there. Pull it nice and tight so you can't see that glob of glue. And I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. Wrap this right here. Trying to keep it as even as possible as far as the distance away from each spot. Go ahead, wrap it around. Wrap it around some more. And you'll notice I'm just trying to keep it evenly spaced here. And wrap it around some more. Here we go. Around some more. And I'm reaching my end here. Do one more. It's nice and twisted at the top. And I'm going to grab one more little globule of glue, exactly where I put that first glob of glue, so that all my glue is in the same exact spot. And pull it nice and tight. And I'm going to trim off that excess ribbon. All right, so I'm actually thinking now that I look at it, see, this is one side, this is the other side. I actually kind of like this side better. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a glob of glue right here, and that's where I'm going to attach my beautiful ribbon. So I'm going to go ahead, put a nice glob of glue right there. Be kind of generous because you don't want your ribbon to disappear. And then go ahead and stick your beautiful ribbon right there. And then there you go. Ta-da! You've just taken a very hideous, very ugly mason jar screw-on cover. I don't know what these things are called. It's driving me absolutely bonkers. If anybody knows what they're called, please put it in the comments. Anyway, this is what it looks like. So if you have a bunch of gifts to give out, or you have grandkids or grandparents or friends, and you don't feel like spending $1 million on them, because if you spend $1 million on them, they get mad at you. Here's the gift of giving something that you've made, and it costs you next to nothing. For me, this actually cost me nothing, because I had the yarn from knitting and crocheting. I had the ribbon from all the past crafts, and I have the mason jar lids from past canning endeavors. So there's this. All right. Super easy, super fun. Moving on. You guys can make all those. I'll show you pictures of them in the comments so you guys can get more inspiration. We're going to put this off to the side for now, and I'm going to show you guys one more really awesome, really easy gift you can give your family and friends, and it'll cost you, once again, next to nothing. So, things you'll need. You are going to need a ½ cup of Himalayan salt. I know this is weird, but I'll explain. ½ cup of Himalayan salt. Down a little. You're going to need a tablespoon of sunflower oil. Put this up a little bit more. A tablespoon of jojoba oil. If you don't have these oils, olive oil works perfect. You don't have to be crazy. Olive oil is great. You're going to need some Epsom salt. I'm running out of room. You're going to need some kind of flower petal. So for me, I am using rose petals. Let's get this stuff out of the way. And then you're going to need some kind of essential oil. So for me, I have peppermint oil, I have lavender oil, and I have rosemary oil. All of these essential oils work together to make a nice calming, soothing, relaxing, even relieving, pain relieving in some cases, like peppermint oil, bath salts. So I have here a 1/4 cup of the ground up rose petals right here. And I basically just put the rose petals in a coffee grinder to grind them up so that they go down, that they're smaller, okay? I then took a 1/2 cup of my Epsom salt, and I'm gonna add this to my bowl of rose petals. I took another 1/2 cup of my Himalayan salt, and the other thing that you're going to need is baking soda. It's cleansing, it's cleaning, okay? Baking soda, put that in there. And then here I have my 2 tablespoons. I have 1 tablespoon of my sunflower oil, 1 tablespoon of my jojoba oil. Olive oil works great. You can just do 2 tablespoons of each. That's fine. And then I'm going to add about 8 to 10 drops of my rosemary oil here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh, smells so good. All right. And then I'm going to add the same thing, about 8 to 10 of my peppermint oil. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We'll do 9. This also smells really good. And then finally, I want that soothing, awesome, relaxing effects of lavender oil. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm trying to keep it consistent, 8 to 10, give or take, of either. You can go a little bit more if you want like 12. It's not going to hurt anything. It probably will only make it better. And I'm going to add this into here. Now, you might be asking, why did you add the jojoba oil and the sunflower oil? Because you don't want to add essential oils directly to your skin in any way, shape, or form. So you want some kind of carrier oil. Again, if you don't have olive oil, if you don't have sunflower oil or jojoba oil, olive oil works wonders. And then all I'm doing is I'm mixing this up. So I'm going to tilt you guys down so you can see this. All I'm doing is mixing it all together. The salts, the baking soda, the oils, making sure it's fully mixed together. If you get any clumps in there, make sure you get those clumps out because you don't want to you don't want clumps. All right, and just make sure it's nice and mixed really, really well. And so what you can do from here, you can do one of 2 things. If you wanted to, you can put this in little cute glass jars. And then because the rose petals are already ground up, they're going to go right down the drain when you put it in a bath, when you drain your bathtub. And the salt's going to melt. Or what you can do is you can use a coffee filter and fill up a coffee filter with this, and then add that coffee filter to the bath and kind of make a bath tea, if you will. Or you can grab one of these fancy muslin bags, you know, the kind that you put jewelry in, or you put bar soap in. If you were here and you've been with us since the whole time, you have watched me make bar soap. Super fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and take a spoonful, and I'm going to add it to this jar. Oh, this bag, excuse me. Good golly. Take another spoonful. And you can leave it like this, or you can fill it all the way up. It's totally up to you. I'm only going to do about 1/4 of a bag because I don't want it to be too strong. And then you're just going to twist it tight and tie it. And then that is it. You just created your own little gift-giving sachet. Little bath sachet. So all you have to do, put a fancy label on here, maybe Happy Holidays Bath Spa, or love you, check out this awesome bath stuff, cute little gift tag, whatever you want, And then just let the whoever you're giving this to know the ingredients, just in case they have any allergies to any of the things that you put in here. Other than that, you're just going to drop this in your bathtub and roll with it, and that's it. Super simple, super easy. Smells absolutely wonderful and has so many beneficial properties to it. If you guys ever want any questions regarding essential oils, we have so many books about how to make your own bath salts, bath bombs, and the benefits of each individual essential oil and regular oil and salts. So for me, this is a stress relieving, relaxing, and soothing bath creation. Feel free to share and give as many of these to your friends as you want. Until next week, I will see you guys all then, and we'll continue on this gift-giving holiday extravaganza crafting. All right, until then, I'll see you guys all next week.